Now it's time for Movie Friends with your hosts Michelle and Seth. We're talking film without pretension. We're finding cats that are unexpected. We'll watch a movie, film, or schmovie, and we want you to join our journey. So subscribe and share this podcast, or this might just be the last of the Movie Friends. We're movie friends. We want to be your movie friends.
Hey, welcome to Movie Friends. I'm here with my friend Michelle Rubenstein, who is the world's most dangerous predator.
And I'm here with my friend Seth Vargas, who sparkles in the sunlight.
From Sweat.
It's from something.
Yep. Michelle, we're here.
Hello, we're here. We've arrived. Wow. I feel like this decision and going into tonight's episode took a lot of talking behind the scenes. I think this is the most amount of talking about a movie that we've done. Not about the actual movie, just our headspace around it.
Yeah. It's been a very long road getting to Twilight, the Twilight series.
Yeah.
This is a big one. This is a big deal for us for several reasons. This is the first time you pointed out that we're ever doing a movie series in a row.
Yep.
We've completed 3 trilogies. The Godfather, Back to the Future, and Shrek. But we did each episode a year apart, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about doing Twilight since before our show even began. So yeah, I'm excited.
Me too.
It's going to be weird to be in, each month we have a theme. So we're in like a theme mindset. But we're going to be talking about Edward and Bella and Jacob.
I wonder if it'll actually help and be easier because you're just remaining in one topic and headspace for a month. That might actually work for my brain. We shall see.
We'll see if we get sick of it.
Well, yeah, I'm wondering that too. Like by the end, we might be like, you know what? November's coming. Here we go. We're ready for it.
Hey, if you're listening to this show for the first time, number 1, welcome. But normally before we talk about the movie, we talk to each other for a little bit. So if you don't like that, skip ahead to
the timestamp that Seth decides to put in the show notes.
Usually, yeah, I don't know if I'll put a timestamp, but usually it's about 10 minutes. We're pretty good.
Yeah.
We're pretty good.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's going on?
Well, I'm reading a book about Mila Nurmi. Michelle's still into Vampira, of course. So
yes,
it's written by her.
Can you tell us who Mila Nurmi is? Give us an update.
Mila Nurmi portrayed Vampira. She was the first horror movie host in the 50s, and her niece Sandra wrote a book about her. And so I'm making my way through it, but there's one particular part that just made me chuckle. And Mila talks about when she's a teenager, how she loved to go to dances, especially dances with boys. And at these dances, there were dreamy boys and there were corny boys.
Oh my God.
And sometimes the dances were filled with corny boys, and she would call them corn bakes.
Amazing. Incredible.
And it was her biggest disappointment.
Right. Well, you don't want to go to a corn bake?
A corn bake.
You're trying to go to a dreamy dance, and you show up and everyone's corny.
I know. It's such a gamble. You don't know what's going to be there.
At first I was very tickled by this thought, and then I realized, I would have... Mila Nurmi, Vampira. She would have thought I was the corny boy.
Oh, gosh. Right? You and your besties decide to go. You guys are just all the corny boys.
Wow. Okay.
So anyway, I'm very early on in her story so far, but that particular part made me chuckle.
Wonderful.
Yeah. What's going on with you?
Well, we're heading into October, spooky season, as some people call it. And in light of covering Twilight this month, I'm trying to watch some vampire movies.
Fun.
Yeah. And I guess I'll just say it now. People are all particular about the vampires in Twilight,
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? People are playing it fast and loose with these vampire rules all over the place. I just watched a movie recommended by Sean Shank, a good friend, called The Vampire Lovers, and that was playing it a little, the rules aren't always the same. And then I watched another movie, Vampiros Lesbos, and in
Oh.
that, the vampire's just out on the beach, hanging out.
Oh.
Not getting burned up. And
Wow. Okay.
so, yeah, I've been into vampire. You're reading Vampira, and I'm watching
I
vampire
know.
movies.
Maybe
Yep.
I'll consume some vampire movies this month as
They're
well.
fun.
Yeah, they are
Yeah.
fun. So if you come across anything where you're like, I think Michelle would like this, send my way.
I got a lot.
Not like, oh, you should watch this sometime because it's No. Just what I'm into, Seth. Just be like, Michelle would get a kick out of this.
I got a great one for you. It's called Vampire's Kiss.
Oh, yes.
Starring Nicolas Cage. And then, speaking of vampires again, I'm planning on seeing you this weekend at the Garlic Festival.
That's right.
No vampires allowed.
Unless we write a story where our vampires that we come up with, eat garlic or braise garlic or, can be around garlic or attend a garlic festival and kill there.
Garlic farmers. So it's like hiding in plain sight.
Yep.
People will be like, I think that those people might be vampires. But then they'll be like, well, but they own a garlic farm. It can't be them.
Right. Something's just off about them and I can't figure it out.
Yeah. Have you been to this garlic festival before?
I have, a couple of years ago. It's huge.
I've never been.
It's huge.
Yeah. And this is like in my backyard. Like you're coming
Yeah.
up here. I've never
Yeah.
been to this thing. I can't
And
imagine
it's great. There's like,
entertaining this could be.
well, I guess it depends on what you're into, right? But if you're into like artisanal food items and you want to try like garlic cookies and garlic ice cream and get pickled goods and pumpkin butter and apple butter and stuff like that. But what I'm most looking forward to is there's 10 of us going.
Wow.
And we're all staying in a big house together and then we get to see you guys, so like it's just friendship weekend.
Very cool. So hey, before we talk about this week's movie, we guess what the other host is going to rate the film at the end of our discussion. And every time we guess right, we get to add a pickle to our pickle tally. And going over to our pickle tally, currently Michelle has 16 pickles and I have 19.
I'm not too far behind.
No, and you did catch up. You were like one away and then it's just all fallen apart.
Yeah, well.
All right, my pencil is down. My answer is locked in.
I don't know.
You having difficulties?
Sorry, I'm having difficulties. I have my number down.
Okay. Michelle looks like Edward trying to deliver any line in this film. She's in pain.
Oh gosh, my eyes will turn soon. Okay, I'm locked in.
So today we are talking about Twilight from 2008. Directed by Catherine Hardwicke, written by Melissa Rosenberg, edited by Nancy Richardson, cinematography by Elliot Davis, composed by Lizzie Pattinson and Carter Burwell, costume design by Wendy Chuck, starring Kristen Stewart, Robert Pattinson, Billy Burke, Peter Facinelli, Ashley Greene, Taylor Lautner, and Cam Gigante. Michelle, you want to climb a tree and read us our summary?
Bella Swan is a junior in high school. She recently moved from her home in Arizona to live with her dad in Forks, Washington. Bella makes friends at her new school, friends that warn her about the beautiful but mysterious Cullen family. When Bella is paired with Edward Cullen in biology class, they begin a tumultuous relationship, a relationship that will blur the lines of love, humanity, and family. As the sun sets on one part of Bella's life, another will begin at twilight.
I almost feel like I should not be leading this episode. Like, I feel like you should be leading this episode. Michelle is here. She's in her La Push sweatshirt.
It's a sweatshirt. It's La Push, baby. It's La Push.
You know, I've seen Twilight and I've seen the next one. eclipse or new moon, whatever it's
New
called.
moon. New moon.
Mm-hmm. But that's it for me. I'm not a Twilighter.
Yeah.
So could you share with us your Twilight experience?
Sure. I would love to. So the books came out in 2005, but I didn't start reading the series until 2008. And my friend group was into it. So Liz and Ingrid and my sister, Sam. And I knew the movie was coming out. And so I quickly read the first book to go see the movie. And then from there, I just, kept up with the books. And then I went to all the midnight premieres. And it became like a really special thing within our group that I looked forward to every year. And so I have a lot of nostalgia tied to that because it was just like a really happy time in my life.
Sure.
Yeah. Also, when I think of Twilight, there was a game that Liz, Ingrid, Sam, and I would play at parties. And really the game was we would label people as a vampire or a werewolf. And it was something you just felt in your gut. So like you're a werewolf. I'm a vampire. Ingrid's a
What?
werewolf. Liz is a vampire. Andrew, werewolf. Frank, probably a vampire. And it's just something you feel. And we would go around and we would label everyone and we would look at each other and we knew what each person was because we felt like we were all in sync with our answers.
Why am I a werewolf?
You just are. You just are.
Is it because I'm more tan skinned?
No. You just
You
are.
sure? Because
Yes. It's just something you feel.
so you've read all the books.
I read all the books, but I've only read the books once. The movies, I've seen all of the movies a few times, but not on repeat. But if it was on, I would watch it.
I don't really know the timeline of the books and the movies. I know from watching the behind the scenes thing that Stephanie Myers was saying that when she filmed her cameo for this one, that if people saw her screen, they thought that she would be writing Breaking Dawn.
Yes, so she was working on Breaking Dawn, right?
So a lot of the story was already out by the time the first one came out.
Right. Yes.
Okay. All right,
yes.
cool. I want to make a quick PSA before we begin. I did not come to the Twilight world until the last few years. And I watched the first movie and then I watched the second movie. And I found them to be very silly and odd movies. But I was never part of the mania of love for them. Likewise, I was never part of the mania of hate for them. It seems like whenever something comes up in our culture that's really, really popular and is like a fad thing, this other crowd has to rise up to like denounce it and, say that anyone who's part of it is stupid and silly. So I was very much aware of the anti-Twilight backlash. And preparing for this episode and the whole series that we're going to do, I've been reading people talking about Twilight. I've been listening to people talking about Twilight. And I got to say, it made me really mad. And I am not a fan of this show. So here's my PSA for this episode and for this entire series. Here on Movie Friends, we are not purposefully sycophantic, okay? We are not just here to praise movies. We don't like a lot of movies. We've covered a lot of movies that we don't like. But we also respect movies as they are, and we try our best to get out of our own way and meet a movie where it is. And so that's the point of this show, and that's what I want to try to do. Are there really stupid, silly things in Twilight? Yes, absolutely. But it's still a movie, and it's a bona fide phenomenon in pop culture, American pop culture, for better or worse. And I got to tell you, I don't see a difference between this. Now, hold on to your hats, folks, okay? I'm not talking about quality-wise. I'm not talking about cultural significance-wise. I'm talking about people's response to the material. I don't see a difference between this and Star Wars. What is the difference? It's all made up mumbo jumbo nonsense.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Sure.
if a whole generation of young women and young men loved Twilight and they found so much meaning. I mean, I've been listening to people talking about how Twilight changed their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Catherine Hardwicke, the director, tells a story about someone telling her that they were dyslexic and like never read a book before, and then after watching the movie taught themselves to read so that they could read the books. Clearly these films mean something to people, and so I wanted to get that out of the way, that I find a lot of the response to this movie truly disgusting. Like it really bothers me when people can't possibly fathom that something that isn't made for them is liked by people who are not them.
Yes, I agree. I also want to make a PSA
Okay.
that I'm going to try and honor. I feel like I'm in Girl Scouts right now
Yes.
for this entire series.
Michelle just did 2 fingers and then 4 fingers.
'Cause I'm like, I don't remember what I have to hold up for Girl Scouts.
Yeah.
I'm a Girl Scouts dropout. But I very much am going to try for this series for us to talk about the movies as standalone movies
Mm-hmm.
and not try to bring in what's coming, or when we get further on, talk about what was
Mm-hmm.
as much as possible. Also, not to compare them to the books. I want
Yeah,
to
this
treat
is
these as
not.
movies, and maybe a
Yeah,
little bit here and there it'll come up if you have a question, or be like, oh, in the
sure.
books this was talked about, or here's some things that maybe could have been filled in. Maybe not. I don't know. But I really just want to try to keep this as these are standalone movies each week. That's my vow.
Yeah, and I think we can do that. So again, if you're listening to this for the first time, welcome. We're going to do our best to cover Twilight in a respectful and understanding manner, but we're also going to be truthful.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this movie is really ridiculous.
It is. And especially someone who, so I came, like I said, I came later to the books,
Yeah.
5 years after. And I'm at this point, I am 21.
Yeah.
Am I 21? 20? Like this, I'm past this now. Like this is
Yeah, sure.
YA. Really, probably I'm not the intended audience. Anyway, so I read the book and I'm like really into it, and then I go see the visual representation in film form, and I'm like, oh, oh man, oh, oh no. There's some things. There's some things you love, and then there's some things you're like, oh, this is so cringy. Oh, this blue filter. Why,
Yeah.
Yeah. But that being said, I think this movie's pretty important for what
Mhm.
it did to pave the way.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, the way that the film looks is very interesting. And I was always like, why does it look this way? Then I was listening to Catherine Hardwicke talk,
Yep.
and she was told you have to cut $4 million out of the budget like days before filming. And if you don't, we're not going to make the movie anymore.
Yeah.
So that's possible. That's one. Two, we think of Twilight now, like on this side of time, as this huge movie series. But this was an indie movie.
Exactly.
This
Exactly.
this was not a huge budget film. Catherine Hardwicke had made 3 films prior to this. 13, which she co-wrote with one of the teenage stars of that film, who's in this movie. Lords of Dogtown, about the group of guys who invented, street skating in California. She made The Nativity Story, which was supposed to be like a very grounded retelling of the birth of Jesus. And that's like the most Hollywood movie that she made. And then she does Twilight. You got Robert Pattinson, who's only in a handful of things prior to this. Everyone always is like, well, he was in Harry Potter. But other than that, he's in smaller independent stuff. Right before this, he played like Salvador Dali. That was his role before playing Edward Cullen. Kristen Stewart, she had the biggest. I mean, she was 17 when they started filming this. She turns 18 as they're filming. This was her 25th film credit. And she had done a few bigger movies like Zathura, and she did Panic Room. She actually worked with some really like impressive directors prior to this, but she also was doing a lot of small independent movies, right? So this was not anything that anyone believed was going to be a really big deal. And like the studio told Catherine Hardwicke, if we make, I can't remember what the budget was, like 37 million. They were like, if we make $30 million, we'll be happy. And that's all they really expected. In fact, I was so offended when I heard this. Oh, they told her Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants was a popular book for teenage girls, and that movie only made 30 something million. So that's all that this movie is going to make.
Wow. Wow.
So that was like the mindset going into adapting a young adult novel that they believed was for girls. And
Yeah.
like what you said, how different a story it is now,
Yes.
where it's like after Twilight, you get the Hunger Games, and then I don't know, all this other young adult that you got like, I'm around the same age as you. So when all that stuff was coming out, I was like, this is not for me. I'm not watching this teenage
I mean,
mumbo
I was really
jumbo.
into the Hunger Games, read the books, and went and
Sure.
saw the movies.
Yeah.
But there were other ones too. I'm drawing a blank. The Hunger Game and Maze Runner. Maze Runner was
Maze
another
Runner.
one, right?
Yeah, The Host, I think, was one.
Well, Stephanie Meyer wrote The Host, no?
Oh, did she?
I'm pretty sure she wrote The Host. Yep, she did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, as far as like how the movie looks and all that stuff, I think we had to take into consideration this was not a major studio film.
Right.
Does that excuse it?
Does it need to be excused though? Or can we just accept it for what it is?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Like to me, I wrote down in my notes that I think that some of the special effects look like Nickelodeon TV show quality, especially when we're like moving
Yes.
fast, zooming into
Yes.
just to the shot.
Totally.
Yeah,
Totally. But no green screens were used in
that's
this movie.
crazy.
They had, like you said, very low budget, a lot of practical effects happening. So
Hmm.
that just makes my heart so happy. Anytime
Yeah,
I can read about practical effects being used. And of course, CGI, little bit here and there they had to use and painting in objects into the scene and
yeah,
stuff. But I love that it was pretty much shot all in locations. And they had to
yeah.
bring into the play of playing into the weather because that definitely
Hmm.
affected the filming schedule instead of filming
Right.
on a sound studio. So that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. And Hardwick talked about really connecting with the story because of the nature, and she wanted to bring out the
Yeah,
nature. Like I didn't know that she's the one who made Bella a vegetarian.
I didn't know that either.
That
I
was
guess.
her idea. She also talked about she was the one who was like, "Oh, I wanted them to go to a composting thing for a field
Mm,
trip."
yeah.
To like introduce this idea to teenagers about composting.
Which I appreciated watching this time around. I was like, I love this science teacher, Mr. Molina. He's
Oh,
so
well,
passionate.
let's just get into it now.
Oh,
He's I don't want to say he's my MVP, but
oh,
he's the one
okay.
I'm most interested in this movie.
Right? As an
Hmm.
adult, with 2025 eyes, Michelle's sitting down, I'm like, "Oh, why am I, like, hyper focused on Mr. Molina?"
One thing that one thing I can definitely put in the plus column for this movie is every scene that we come into, apart from the Cullens, but the high school diners, it feels like a real world where
Yes.
we're coming into conversations that are already happening about things not related to Bella and Edward. It feels alive. It feels real. And then you get this contrast of just like absolute fantasy, like not
Yeah.
realistic at all. But I love the science teacher. He is so funny. I didn't even know his name. I'm glad that you brought him up. I know that they made another book called Midnight Sun.
Yes. Oh my gosh, when that got leaked. I mean,
Leaked.
I read the leaked version. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was like
So that's the story from Edward's point of view?
perspective. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, we need another book called like Morning Sun, and it is about the events in Forks, Washington from this science teacher's perspective.
Wow. I wonder if there's a fanfic out there. We
Well,
should search for it on that.
I'm ready to write it.
Okay, so we're writing garlic vampires, and we're writing
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Molina's point of view in Forks,
Mm-hmm.
Washington. Okay.
Well, it can be the same thing. We can tackle, because I don't know if garlic is covered in the Twilight series. I don't know if it's ever brought up. And so we already know he's into composting, farming, maybe. Anyway,
There's something to play with here. There's something to play with here. On my honeymoon, I was telling Seth this off mic. We did a road trip, and we did the western coast of the United States. And so I was like, "Aunt, we need to go to Forks, we need to go to Port Angeles, and we need to go to La Push." And we did, and we got coffee in Port Angeles, and then we went up to La Push and Rialto Beach. And when I tell you, when the day we went to the beach, it was exactly like when Bella and Edward go. I mean, when Bella and Jacob and her friends are at the beach, and it's like the weather's poor and it's like
Yeah.
foggy and rainy, and it was perfect. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm living Twilight right now. It was great.
And that I also didn't realize when you're watching it, because the whole movie is just so overcast and gloomy, and then they go to the beach and it's like also overcast and gloomy. Hardwicke was like, "Oh, I thought this would be the one scene where it's like bright and sunny and they're at the beach, and then the day that they go, it's just like a torrential downpour, and they actually had to move half of that sequence up to some vans so that the actors could like hang out in shelter."
Yeah.
And she was like, we were just asking surfers there if we could borrow their vans for the shoot.
It's great.
So I mean, that's how like low budget and low key this filming was. In fact, she said they didn't have like security for this shoot, even though Twilight was already like a big movie and everything. She's like, we just shot.
Right.
Sometimes people would stand around and watch, but for the most part, it just flew under the radar.
Yep.
Okay, I have so many questions. I think I might have more notes for Twilight than any other movie that we've ever talked about.
Let's
So
do
if
it.
this episode is 2 hours long, I apologize to everybody. But
this episode deserves to be 2 hours long. The other ones we've talked about that got to 2 hours, I don't know how they ended up 2 hours, but this one deserves to be 2 hours.
Okay, I told you that I distilled all of my thoughts about this movie into one sentence.
Yes.
Are you ready to hear it?
Oh my gosh, I get it now?
Well, I want to give it now so that you know what I'm thinking throughout this episode. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Bella and Edward are bad communicators. But even bad communicators deserve love.
I'm sorry, I don't want
And to me, that explains this entire movie. It explains the stilted acting. It explains the weird, disgruntled look as you're like looking at the person you. It explains the whole thing.
I feel like it's 2008 all over again. I just read the book. That would be the equivalent of you teasing that you have one sentence, and then I go see the movie, and then you deliver the sentence.
So my synopsis is as disappointing to you as the film was?
I don't want to put down your words because there's so much truth to that. I don't know what I was expecting. It wasn't that.
But like,
Okay,
okay,
let's
so
unpack
people
it.
have
Let's
questions.
unpack it.
People have questions about this movie. Why is it this way? Why is it that way? It's so funny to me that we did The Happening and now we're transitioning into Twilight.
I know.
Which are two movies that elicit like very extreme responses from people who watch it, right? And then there's people who get it, and then there's people who don't get it. And last week on The Happening, spoiler for that episode, Michelle did not like that movie, and I really did. Now we might be a little flip-flopped. But it's like, we know that Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson are great actors. And prior to this, had given very good performances. So it's not like you can say, oh, they were young and then after this they got good. No, not true at all, actually. So there's something particular that they're trying to do through their performances. And listening to Catherine Hardwicke, I listened to her for like 4 hours today. And you know what? It was wonderful. She seems like a really nice, normal person. And she talked about Bella being just so shy and so clumsy and not really having skills or anything going on, but she's like deeply in love with this person. I was thinking about Edward and their scenes together and how he's like just so in pain by loving her so much, but also being afraid that he's going to kill her, but also wanting to scare her away so that he'll protect her, and like all those emotions like tied up. And all I could think was like, they can't talk. Of course, they're not giving wonderful monologues to each other. They're both stifled. They're both constipated. They're both unable to communicate with each other. And
Yes.
that's what I believe these performances were going for. I think that there's a lot missing that you had to kind of fill in. But
Yes.
even
Yes.
a movie about bad communicators, they still deserve love. And I enjoy watching their love story unfurl.
Right. Well said. It's true though, because if you look at the chemistry
Mm-hmm.
between Bella and Jacob, the
Mm-hmm.
acting between Kristen and Taylor, it's good. It's great. It
Yep.
feels very
And it's
natural.
different. It's
It's
different.
very different.
Yep.
So it's very good. Uh the different chemistry between Bella and her dad, Kristen
Mm-hmm.
and Billy. It's different, but then you have her and her mom and Renee. Very different.
Yep.
On the flip side of that, you have Edward and how he, interacts with the Cullens and Alice, and it's fluid.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you are right. When when Edward and Bella get together, it's so intense that they cannot express themselves because yeah, Edward is afraid he's going to kill her, but he loves her
Right.
so much. So how do you contain that? Also, I was thinking about this too. Knowing all of that and giving all of that, like how would you portray that as Robert? Right? You're given like how, and I'm thinking, how would
Right.
I portray that?
Right.
That's so
And that, right.
you know.
Vampires are cool. Okay?
Yeah.
Generally. Vampires dress cool, they look cool, they're either handsome or beautiful, they're smooth, they talk with cool accents or in cool ways. There's almost always an element of like, I can kind of read your mind or I can manipulate. Vampires are super, super cool. Edward is
Yeah.
not cool with Bella at all. Like, he like runs out of the room like he's going to throw up when he first
That's right.
meets her.
Right.
So that's my answer to your question. How would you go about portraying that? Because if you hired Robert Pattinson and just said, hey, you're a teenage vampire who's also like 100 something years old, go ahead. I think he could have done that. But adding in this element really kind of like, grinds the gears here. And like I said, I think there's like some things maybe missing in the in the performances or just in the story, but like
Yeah.
there's not a lot of dialogue or exposition. We put in Bella's narration to try to fill in some of that stuff, but anyway, I'm just saying,
That's
I get it.
always
I get what they were going for.
right. And that is always the obstacle, right? When you're adapting a book into a movie. You can't fit everything in and not everything can
Right.
be portrayed on
Right.
screen. That definitely hindered it
Right. Right.
of what you're talking about.
In film, vampires are always synonymous with sex, right? Sexual
Yes.
attraction. Here in this movie, it's all about abstinence, which I have not looked a lot into Stephanie Meyers and like her purpose behind writing this book. I know that she is Mormon.
Mm-hmm.
One thing that I've heard about, critiquing about the whole Twilight series is that it's like Mormon propaganda. And I can't speak to that because one, I'm not Mormon, and two, I haven't read the books. But I'm going to try to look into that more over the series, But this movie is all about the abstinence of that sexual act through, the lens of the vampire life, right? And so they're holding everything back. They're in bed and like Edward like jumps out of bed against the wall. And he's like, "Stop!" Right? That wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
happen in another vampire movie. What, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And so is it partially the Mormon influence? Is it because this is a story about teenagers and she didn't want to go there? Who knows?
Right.
But
Right.
yeah, but they're not expressing themselves.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
withholding and they're holding back.
Well, and also, like, especially for Edward, too, who's never experienced something like this. He's been waiting for his true love to come along and thought it would never happen because everyone else in his coven, they're all paired off.
Right.
So you have
Which is
Carlisle and Esme
so weird.
and Emmett and Rosalie and Alice and Jasper, and then there's just Edward.
Right.
And then all of a sudden he meets Bella and it's something you can't even explain. Like he thirsts for her. He loves her so much. He can't read her mind. That's a whole other
Right.
big thing too.
Right. Right.
So that
And so in that way, he's fascinated by her
right.
because he can look around a room and he sees how boring everyone is.
Right.
Right. In that scene where he's like, that person's thinking about money, sex, cats.
Yeah. And then the guy's like,
What?
"Ooh."
What's up with that?
I think it was just to be silly.
It's
The
so
guy's just
weird.
thinking about his cat. That would be
It's such
me
a weird.
if Edward was in a
Right.
restaurant. You get to Michelle.
Mm-hmm.
Cats.
But so it adds a level of mystique,
Yeah.
which is part of attraction, right?
Sure.
Some parts of attraction are okay. Here is the part of this person that is fully on display, right? And I'm interested in that part that I can see and hear. But then there's this other part where it's like, oh, I want to spend more time with them to get to know this part, right? And so yeah, it makes total sense, and it's represented when we're introduced to the Cullen family. Everyone who comes in, they're all dressed in like white and like silver, and then Edward is just like black, dark gray. And so we see, even though he's in this family and he loves them, like I don't get
Oh
any
yeah.
sense that he doesn't
Yes.
love his family. He's separate from them, and the
Yeah.
only difference is that he's alone.
Right.
I don't get the Cullens. I don't get them at all. They're so bad at like keeping their lives secret. I don't. They walk into the cafeteria
Okay,
and
iconic. We're already started.
Jessica.
Oh my god.
Sure.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It gives me life. I love it so much. Okay, continue.
Okay. I mean, I'm
love
not
it.
there, but sure.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it.
But like Jessica, who is a high school child, okay, is like, that's the Cullens. They're all Dr. Cullen's kids. And also they all date each other. Whatever.
It's real weird.
If you're the Cullens and you're trying to keep a low profile, you're just out there that you're dating your foster siblings,
Well, they're not blood related, as Angela says.
but you're trying to keep a low profile.
You do and you don't. Right? They're the mysterious family, but they also don't attend events. Like when it's sunny out, they go on vacations. Like Carlisle is an active member of the community because he's a doctor at the hospital.
Okay, right. Okay. But okay, you Michelle, you are a high school child. And there's this you live in a small town. I got to tell you, the population of Forks that they give is like almost the population of where I live. And
Yeah.
I live in a small town.
Yeah. Yep.
And in small towns, people talk,
Of course.
right? So you've got this mysterious family, the Cullens. No one's calling CPS on these people.
They're all what would be the CPS? The kids aren't being abused. They're adopted and they're paired off.
She literally says that he is, what does she say? Adoptive father / matchmaker? That's weird. That's creepy. You're a kid in high school and you know that there's a rich, mysterious man who adopts children and then matches them together?
Yeah.
That's not
It's
flying under the radar.
Sure.
I didn't understand this part at all. Like,
Yeah.
this didn't make any sense to me.
Okay. Right. But then again, Carlisle is an established doctor who's super charming and does well for the community. So I'm thinking in this small town, it's just like accepted truth. Because they have now the Collins, it's established the Collins travel around.
Yeah.
So they started off in Forks and then they come back to Forks. And so they've been in Forks for probably 4 years, I guess, at this point. Or I don't know how long, because Edward is 17.
Supposed to be, yeah.
So,
They're both supposed to be juniors.
there's a sliding scale here of how young we can look. So probably they start at like 9th grade, I guess. So they've been there for a while is what I'm getting at. And so everyone's like, to a new person, it's like, oh yeah, let me explain to you about the Collins. But to everyone else, it's like, oh, it's just the Collins.
Right. I guess so. Can I harp on another point?
Please do. I want to talk about Twilight for 5 hours. So
sure.
Every part you want to talk about, here we go.
We didn't put out a lot of episodes this month. We got plenty of room.
Just split it into 2 episodes.
We could maybe, who knows, maybe. Okay. You are Carlisle Cullen.
Yes, please.
You are like, we need to move around.
Yeah.
Do any of the Cullens look under the age of 18? And I'm not talking about in world. I'm talking about to you as a human.
No.
Okay, so just say that we're all over the age of 18. This makes no sense. At one point in the house, they have a wall art of graduation caps.
I love it. Love it.
Which I think even in the world of the film, I think is supposed to be symbolic, because if you count those caps, they would have been graduating once a year for the last 100 years.
Right.
Whatever. Okay. But it's like, they establish that they live in Forks because it's almost always cloudy.
Yeah.
And they can be out during the day.
Right.
Where else could you travel to in the United States where you could go to high school? Nowhere. Nowhere is cloudy that much. So this whole idea of, we travel around and we go to where? To where?
Well,
you go to high school at night in Florida?
You can go to Europe.
Where is it cloudy in Europe?
Well, oh my God, here we go. We're going to talk maps, geography right now? We're going back to last one?
I'm just saying, like, there's so many problems that this arises. And you know what? Just make it that just Edward goes to high school.
And not the rest of the Cullens.
So you move Edward around because he's the youngest and he was turned at 17, so he looks like a kid. But beyond that, just this name one, it doesn't make any sense. And Edward says, like, the younger we start out, wherever we go, the longer we can stay there.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, Edward. Name one other place where this ruse has worked.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my big gripe with Twilight.
Okay.
Beyond that, it's like, all right. So I made a list of like the differences here with vampires, and I have no problems with any of these, by the way. So there's no fangs.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, that's fine. They're okay in the sunlight. The sunlight does not hurt them, but it reveals that they're vampires.
Yeah, they sparkle.
And so that's a problem. Which I understand. Yeah, obviously.
I mean, if someone started sparkling in the sunlight, like a whole family, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Be a little alarming.
Each member of the family has a special power?
Yes.
Does the big guy not? Because he was the only one.
Emmett's strength. He just has a lot of strength. I feel like Emmett's story we get the least of. Okay.
Yeah. I felt that too. I was like, all right, everyone else is kind of. The one thing we're told about Emmett is that he's her monkey man.
Yes, that's right.
Because he climbs a tree.
Yes.
They all climb trees. I don't think it's fair to single out Emmett as a monkey man.
Yeah.
They never sleep.
Hmm.
I don't want to be dramatic, but I would kill myself if I couldn't sleep.
Well, if you were a vampire in this universe, you wouldn't even realize you were missing sleep.
No, I would.
Oh, okay. This is why you're not a vampire, by the way.
What would you do?
You're a
What would you
werewolf.
do with your time?
You read, you listen to music.
You're not eating. The two joys of life are taken from you.
That's why.
Eating and sleeping.
Well, right. And I mean, I like you're talking, I get what you're saying. And this is like, we're talking about in a jokingly matter, but this is also like a big conflict within this story is why would you choose and want to be like this?
Right. And
Because
Bella,
it's
oh
terrible.
my God. After 3 weeks, Bella's like, turn me. I'm ready.
Turn me now.
Yeah,
Take me.
I'm ready. Do it.
Yes.
And Edward, thankfully, is like, no.
Right.
I mean, I love his line at the end where he says, isn't like a good long life with me enough?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, yeah, sure, whatever. It's like, Bella, that's what everyone else gets. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
And then a big part of this that everyone always harps on, and I'm just gonna tell you, I don't care because it's a made up story. Is the whole like age gap relationship thing where it's like Edward is like 100 and whatever years old, Bella's a high schooler.
Yeah, I know, but like that also doesn't.
It doesn't bother me for some reason.
Me
You know, like
neither.
this is a fictional world. I don't know. I'm just not interested in that part of this conversation.
Same.
You know, yes, if you had a 110-year-old man and he was like in love with a 17-year-old girl and she was in love with him, I'd be like, all right, that's not cool.
Right.
This is a vampire, man.
He's
Vampires are always incredibly old.
Right. But mentally, he's 17 and he looks 17. And I understand, like, okay, maybe not mentally, but he's been portraying a 17-year-old for so long. He's been in this role. But I guess I don't have a good case. I don't have a good case. It just doesn't bother me. It just doesn't bother me.
No, it doesn't bother me
It just
either.
doesn't bother
It's
me.
fake. It's fake. And you know what? If you were a vampire and you were 300 years old, then a 30-year-old woman would be just as young. You know what I mean? Like comparatively.
Well, not to go back to Bewitched, if you were listening last week, but this was just an episode where Darren was like, Samantha, how old are you? And she's like, oh, I'm not going to give my age because, I mean, and does it matter, right?
Is Samantha really old?
Well, Samantha's a witch. So she's not, however young she looks, she's got some age to her. Yeah.
Wow. She had some work done.
No, I think it's just the aging.
Witch work.
The aging process is different for witches.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. I have some rapid fire questions for you.
Let's do it.
I don't know if you can answer this or not.
All right, I'll try.
Okay. Why is Bella pale?
I think it's just her natural complexion.
Okay.
Truly, that's who says the line like, "Oh, you're from Arizona." Was it Angela? You're from
Jessica.
Jessica says it. Anna Kendrick, by the way, also
Anna Kendrick.
a not really an established actor at this point,
right? But would go on to be huge.
Yeah, but says you're from Arizona. Shouldn't you be like all tan and stuff? And then she's like, "Oh, I don't like the sun." And I mean, I'm really pale.
But it's just weird to be like,
I know
that it's like part of the story that Bella is pale and then she ends up with people who are very pale. That's weird. Like,
hey, it worked. Aesthetically, it fits.
Okay, why do Edward's eyes change color? Because I didn't grasp this.
Yes, they turn black when he's hungry. Or I guess so much thirsting for blood and needs to feed. And so when he comes back and his eyes are golden again, we're back at neutral base.
It's because he probably like had to run out and eat real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And then why are the vampires only pale on their face? Like it's like Donald Trump is doing their makeup.
That might just be the makeup.
Okay. All right. Okay. Because it's bad. It's like Not all the time, but in some of the
I
shots, it's just
know.
straight up like Donald Trump in it.
I
Like
kn
that's
Yeah, I think that's just like a makeup thing. When Bella and Edward are in the restaurant in Port Angeles and they're in the low lighting, they both
Mhm.
look so good and healthy. Everyone I'm like, "Okay, you guys look
Right.
great here. Good
Right.
light for you guys."
Okay. You ready to run through some characters?
Let's do it.
Okay. Kristen Stewart as Bella Swan. How do you feel about her?
She's the only Bella I know.
Okay.
So, it's kinda hard to think about who else I would have wanted to play Bella. Now, if you asked me this in 2008, I'm sure I would have had an answer for you,
Mm-hmm.
but she is the only Bella I know.
Who played on the OC?
Nikki Reed.
No.
Rosalie?
No.
Give me a character on the OC.
I can't think of her name. The main girl.
Rachel Bilson?
No.
Misha Barton?
Yeah, Misha Barton.
No. As
Misha Barton as
as
Bella
Bella?
Swan? I don't know.
Absolutely no.
Okay,
No.
sorry. I just crossed the line.
No. Boop. No.
Because Misha Barton, she did kind of like the sullen.
No.
Okay.
I mean, in your eyes, if you think, I think also like her stature, she's just too tall, and I don't know. I mean, anyone could play anyone, I guess, but I
Yeah.
don't know.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
I-
Wait,
I-
hold on.
yeah.
Pause. How do
Yeah.
you feel about Kristen Stewart as Bella? I mean, clearly you would have liked Misha Barton, so I don't know if I actually.
No, I think, like you said, this is, I'm not big into fan casting, I think people think that they just have too much power.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I'm presented with the art and I
Consume it.
grasp the art, not the could be's and what ifs around it,
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I know.
that's a weird way of saying it, but that's truly how I feel. Like,
And I'm also
whatever.
just terrible at that game.
Right.
Terrible.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, it's tough. It's tough because it plays into everything that I just said. Like, I think I know what they're going for, and I understand from the source material why that's what they were doing. I think that Kristen Stewart is an incredible actor.
I do too.
Incredible. Oh my God.
Yeah.
She is so good. She was in that Princess Diana movie, Spencer. She was so good in that. Love Lies Bleeding. Awesome. I mean, Kristen Stewart is an exciting actor, and she picks interesting stuff. I, don't, I don't think that this is on her sizzle reel. I guess
Yeah.
I'll say.
Right.
Some of the line deliveries are rough.
Don't you think though, like we said, they're rough when it's with Edward?
Yeah. Well, right. I mean, when she says vampire, it's
Vampire.
it's not good.
No, the whole sequence is what is going on?
Well, it took me like 4 times watching it to be like, oh, I get what's going on. He's trying to scare her. Like, he's trying to scare her away, but he's not trying to actually hurt her. It's a
Yes.
show.
No,
Edward is putting on a big show. Like,
but it is just maybe could have been done a little differently.
yeah. I mean, it's like it's like the Beast in Beauty and the Beast,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Except, Edward is coming more from a place of like pain and longing, where the Beast is coming from like a place of anger. But it's all just a big
And also he's
show.
never had to do it before, so that's why
Yeah.
I'm like giving him some grace because he's never had to like show a mortal that he thirsts for
Yeah.
how scary he is. So it is a little bit awkward, his execution of it.
Yeah. And then, I mean, just painfully awkward. And again, if you're listening and you really love Twilight, I'm sorry. Painfully awkward. And so the lion fell in love with the lamb. What a stupid lamb.
Oof. I know.
What a masochistic lion. That like, I think if you cut that 5 seconds from this movie, it goes up. It goes up by a lot. It's like, oh, woof. Like, that's a swing and a miss to me.
Wow.
So, I don't know. Like, this movie is not boring. I'll give it that. And so I don't think Kristen Stewart is boring in this, but yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, no, the scenes between her and Edward are very cringy.
So like I was saying, Bella's not good at anything. In my notes, she for like the 5th time, she's like, I can't dance. I just wrote, Bella can't dance. What can she do? Like, what are you good at, Bella? But nothing. She's supposed to be kind of like a loser.
Right.
And she's just a loser that this guy falls in love with. And hear what I'm saying. I'm not saying anything bad. And I'm not saying like, oh, this is why people like it. But this is a romance story. And if you were a young person when this book came out and you felt like a loser and maybe you weren't a good dancer and you weren't good at anything, and here comes, the world's most beautiful guy who's also super cool and super powered, and he's in love with you, that's appealing.
Sure.
That's a story that you would want to read.
You can escape to that world. And it's also about conforming to society or what society feels you should conform to, feeling like an outsider. Those are always stories that are relatable.
Right. But we see her in gym class, and I wrote down, certainly they had gym class in Arizona.
Oh, but I mean, that means nothing. That was me in gym class.
Okay, but Bella is acting like this is her first time, like, among the humans with a ball.
Well, it's just that she's just like, oh my God, please don't. I've actually felt very much what Bella was feeling.
Really?
I was terrible at volleyball and feared the ball.
Interesting.
Every time. When we had to do,
You know who's not bad at volleyball?
You?
Me.
Wow. Is that your
You might
sport?
find that surprising.
Not really.
Short guy.
You should put that on your resume.
Not a long reach.
Good at volleyball.
But I can do it. Don't put me up front, though.
Oh.
I'm not tall enough for up front.
Good to know. You learn
I'm
something
gonna get
new
spiked
every day.
on. Spiked on every time.
I'm not good at volleyball. Doesn't matter what position you put me in. Not good.
Got it. All-time server? Just stand in the back and serve the ball? You could do that?
Nope. Nope.
All
Nope.
right.
Nope. 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 Mm-mm.
I liked the scene where Bella and Edward fake a breakup, and then she just like unloads on her dad, and she's like, "You're gonna get me stuck here just like Mom." And then you find out that the whole thing was just so that he wouldn't follow her to protect him. I was like, that was actually well written, well executed, well acted.
So these two can't communicate, but they can act.
Yeah.
The characters, like,
Right. And so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
These actors are acting as people who can't communicate. So it
Right.
comes across to us as like, why are you just staring at each other?
Right.
Why can't you talk normal? That's why.
Right. Yeah.
But at a certain point, that doesn't work. Robert Pattinson as Edward Cullen. He's fine,
He is.
It's just a ditto for everything we said about Krista to me.
Well, right. But also, if we're going to just talk about Edward in this movie as a standalone, he's creepy. He's extremely creepy.
I mean, he's watching her sleep.
Gaslights her at a time. Like, I get you. Like, you can't help yourself. You're protecting her. But also, that's like, ugh. And I understand she's also falling for him as well, but kind of makes me feel a little uncomfortable.
I need for them to give me some vampire lore, some vampire nonsense that is communicated in this film. Maybe it comes later.
What do you mean? Like, specifically, do you have an example?
That says, I cannot leave you alone. Beyond just desire. Why is he watching her sleep? Why is he stalking her?
Because I think he's so
in the town with the bookstore.
Yeah, he just.
But there needs
can't
to be
help
something
himself.
Right. But to remove the creep factor, you got to put in some vampire mumbo jumbo.
I don't think there's any mumbo jumbo with that. I think he's like so enamored. I mean, imagine if you were so obsessed with someone.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, let's not play that game because I don't want to know your answer.
Wait, what was going to be the question?
Well, I was going to pretty much say, like, if you were Edward and you were like in love and infatuated and enamored, with a person and you could spy on them as they sleep or anytime
Sure,
you
sure.
wanted, would you? And you probably would.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
it's, ooh.
Well, I mean, they end up together, and so it's kind of like everything everything along the path was romantic, where if they
Right.
didn't, everything along the path would be creepy.
Exactly. That's
So I'm
exactly
with you
it.
though. It's too much, bro. I don't care who you can't watch a girl sleep. That's like one of the rules. That's one of the rules.
What are the other rules? I didn't know there were rules. What do you mean by that?
Of course, there are rules
Oh,
between a man and a woman and how you treat somebody.
wow.
If you found out that a guy you liked was like looking through your bedroom window and watching
Like a
you
peeping
sleep,
Tom? Yeah, I'd be freaked
you wouldn't
out.
be like, "Oh, that's a rule breaker."
There would be different choice words I would use
Okay.
to describe. Oh, that's a rule breaker, that one.
Yeah. And then Edward, he's just like he has no chill. Like
He can't chill. He can't chill.
he's like when everything goes down, he says to Bella, he's like, "You're my life now, Bella." And I'm like, "Bro, you guys went on like one date in a meadow and then you drove her to school.
Well, but
Now you're going on your first official date, which is to play baseball with your family, which we will come back to. That is their first official date. Official. I'm saying official, like who cares? But you're my life now?
Well-
You've been alive for 110 years.
yes, but he's been waiting. Like when you become a vampire in this world, everything becomes more intensified. So like it's just like a times 10. And so now Bella this is it. This is all we've been waiting for finally.
He needs to say that.
Well,
Carlisle needs to pull Bella aside, or Rosalie or Esme. Someone needs to talk in this movie and explain what's happening to us. That's what proxy characters are for.
yeah.
I get that this is from Bella's perspective, but that makes for a bad story. Esme needs to pull her aside and say, Edward has been alone. He has never loved a girl. He's never da-da-da. And so
Yeah.
when you become a vampire, everything becomes intense. Like everything that you just said, I agree with and would understand. But as it is, it's just left for us to be like, aw.
Right. Well,
And instead we go, oh.
I know. And here I am being like, don't bring up the books.
Right. But again, okay, but like this is good because you want to stay in the movie. That's all that I know.
I know. This is all you know is treating it
it's a
as
critique of the
it's
film.
a critique of the film. Yes, agreed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Edward is very fast. We're told this a few times.
Hang on, Spider Monkey.
Do you know the story behind that line?
I don't know the origin of it.
Catherine Hardwicke said that they were going to be filming that scene the next day and they didn't have any lines. There were no lines for that. And so she's like, we have to write something. She said, she's like, we can't just keep filming them staring at each other. So she said that she wrote down 10 different lines and she printed it out on a piece of paper and gave it to Robert Pattinson and said, pick which one you like the most. And he picked Hang On Tight, Spider Monkey.
That's great.
Yeah. And she was like, that was my favorite line too. I was hoping you would pick that one. She was like, it was the weirdest one.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
I do really like pretty much the whole gazebo sequence. I do really like.
Their slow dance?
Yeah, I like that. She goes to like give him her neck to turn her and he just kisses it instead.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see like he's in pain still. Like,
yeah. Well, he's
and-
experiencing also like we saw him able to really restrain himself when we have the attack at the ballet studio.
Right.
With our good buddy Cam Gigandet as James.
Yes.
Who you just watched as Volchak on the OC.
Yes. Which we'll get to him. We'll get to him.
Okay.
But I wrote down, I said, I totally understand why young people find this romantic.
Yeah.
The idea that someone can love you so much that it hurts them.
Yeah.
As adults, we would be like, that's probably not healthy. That's That's actually
Ooh.
maybe love shouldn't hurt.
Right. Right. Yep.
But when you're a kid, you're like, love should hurt. Everything hurts. Everything is pain.
Yeah.
I'm in pain.
Yeah.
So, but I get it. This scene is very romantic. It's very good. Okay, the Cullens. Carlisle, Cullen, Peter Facinelli, the vampire with a heart of gold.
Love. Hard eyes for days.
For him.
Yeah. As an adult. Babe alert.
No.
Yeah, man. Him and Charlie.
Babe alert? I'm saying, like, as a person, very cool, very nice.
No, Carlisle can get it.
No.
I'm not alone on this. Friends, please chime in. I
Peter-
know as a late 30-year-old. Late 30-year-old?
A late 30. No, that's good.
In my late
That works.
in my late 30s, Carlisle is where it's at. We're not watching for Edward. We're watching for Carlisle and Charlie.
Listen, Peter Facinelli is handsome.
Yes, he is.
And I've seen him in other roles.
Yeah.
Prior to this, one of my favorite films ever, Can't Hardly Wait, which we haven't done on the show.
I know.
But my dream is to just do back-to-back weeks, Can't Hardly Wait and Empire Records. Those are we've talked about every teen movie under the sun, except for the two that I actually love and relate to.
I blame you, curator.
Well, I mean, most people do. Anyway, Peter is handsome. But in this movie, do you know what he reminds me of?
What?
In this movie, as Carlisle Cullen with the white face, he looks like Danny DeVito as the Penguin in Batman Returns.
Stop it. No
he
way.
is hideous in this film. They ruin his look. The blonde hair swiped back.
Listen.
The pointy nose, the white paste. Oh my God, he is hideous.
I'm accepting. I'm looking
Look
past
up a
the
picture.
makeup.
Look up a picture right now of Danny DeVito in Batman Returns. Put it next to a picture of Peter Facinelli.
I just looked at this image because I was editing a Space Jam reel of ours. I know what you're talking about. Okay? And I'm here to tell you, no.
It's the yassified Danny DeVito as the Penguin.
Okay.
It's very distracting.
Anyway.
I
like Carlisle. And we're supposed to like Carlisle.
I would have liked to spend a little more time with Carlisle, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's in the other movies.
Hopefully.
Then we've got Esme.
We barely get to know her.
Barely. She's just a person under a giant wig.
I know. But how sweet. Wants to cook Italiano for Bella.
Saying to Bella, we cooked you Italiano. Is this supposed to communicate that they're very old and they're very world wise?
Yeah.
That's what I think it's supposed to, but it's just so
know.
weird. It is so weird.
I know.
It's also weird that they're all American, because vampires are usually like from some foreign country or from another world, and it's like, we're the American vampires. Do they get into that? They do. Okay.
A little bit. Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
They're a little bit.
I look forward to understanding the geopolitics of the American vampires.
Yeah.
And I have wig blindness, but my wig radar was just going off the charts, especially when they're all wearing the baseball caps.
Oh my God, they're floating. The hats are floating on top of their heads.
They had to have pinned them because there's no way there's any tension there.
Yeah.
Does Esme have a power in this movie?
Mm-mm.
I guess really the only power that I know about is that James is a tracker, that Edward can read minds, and that Alice can see the future.
Right.
And then the next character I want to talk about, Rosalie, her power is being mean.
Well, I mean, that's not her power. We understand.
We do understand that she's good at in this movie.
Yes. We'll understand her more.
Okay.
But yes, as a standalone, it's like, okay, Rosalie, what's your gripe here? What's the problem?
Yeah. What is? I mean, she's like, oh, we're all in danger.
I get it. You're putting our family in danger.
Right.
By hanging out with her.
Then we've got the other one, the big guy.
Emmett. Nothing
going on there.
He's just all love, loyal, and strong.
Yeah, no problems with him.
Mm-hmm.
Jasper,
Jasper in his eyes.
which he apparently was one of the top 4 for playing Edward.
Oh.
Yep, he got Jasper instead. So imagine
I know.
imagine how mad you are. You're like, all right, I might be playing Edward Cullen. Oh, I'm playing Jasper. I get to stand there and stare.
I do love Jasper, though.
I get to hand Alice a piece of charcoal later in
Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah.
And then we've got Alice, and she can see the future. Alice is weird. I don't
I love her.
I don't love or hate her.
She's quirky. She's like a little pixie.
She's weird. Yeah.
But I mean, they're all weird, Seth. We're talking about the Collins. They're all weird.
Yeah, I guess so.
They're all weird.
Okay, and then we've got the friends.
Oh boy.
So we've got Jessica, played by Anna Kendrick. It's just very cool seeing her.
Yeah.
She's doing the Anna Kendrick thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the real villain of the film, Mike Newton, played by Mike Welch. What is this guy's problem? I wanted to have a gun in that movie to shoot him. I wanted to kill Mike Newton.
Yeah. He's so
just
annoying.
Multiple times.
He's so annoying.
He sucks, right?
Yeah, he's really annoying.
At one point in this movie, Bella is standing there talking with Eric, and Mike Newton rushes in with a wet baseball cap and is like wringing it out on her head. And he says, "Hey, what's up, Arizona girl? How you like that rain, huh, girl?"
I mean, what a contrast to, oh, I can have Edward, who's so refined, and maybe he's a little intense, or I can go for the American teenage boy. Typical American teenage boy.
Do you know how disgusting a baseball hat is?
Oh, yeah.
Tight to the scalp, a thick band sucking in all the sweat.
I know the smell.
To wring it out upon a person's head. This, I'm just going to say it. Hell is reserved for people like Mike Newton, okay? This is the Michelle, we've talked about like how many movies. This is like one of the worst things I've ever seen a person do on film.
It's so gross. It's so gross.
Anyway, sorry. I've been holding that in. And then we get Eric, played by Justin Chon.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of also horrible, but maybe in a funnier way.
Yeah.
Bella shows up to school. He like shakes her hand. He's like, "Hey, you're going to be the front page story."
Yeah, the new shiny object.
Weird. So weird. And then she's like, no. And then at lunch, he's like, "The story's dead. Don't talk about it anymore." I did like that.
Bella, doesn't she pitch like, oh, you could do it on like teenage suicide or something?
She says anorexia.
Oh, anorexia. I'm sorry. Anorexia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all right, Bella, I think maybe you shouldn't talk as much, actually.
Yeah.
You are actually really weird and awkward. But then like everyone in the friend group, they're all like getting together. So you have like Bella's friend group who are all getting together and she's still single. And then you have Edward's friend group and they're all together and he's still single. It's a fun little, mirror to each other.
Yeah.
Then we have the evil vampires.
Yes.
Victoria.
Mm-hmm.
She's got a wicked curveball.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Laurent, who he seems like a nice guy.
Yes.
For a vampire.
Yes, out of the three of them, are these nomadic vampires.
Yeah.
He can remain peaceful.
Yeah. That's the way to go.
Well, sure.
Would you stick in one place or would you move around?
I think I'd move around. Well, I don't know. It depends. Do I have a coven? Am I a part of a coven with like-minded people? Do I have a family? Maybe I would want to stay put. But I would have to move around at some point because people would notice. Hence why the Cullens move around.
Unless you live in a New York City, Yeah,
but how could you ever have relationships with people?
You're a vampire. You don't need relationships.
No. Well, I guess it's true. It's like what do you subscribe to? Well, no, I guess you'd have to be with other vampires because you need some sort of socialization.
The way I understand it as portrayed in films usually is that vampires view us like we view animals.
Yeah.
We understand that we can communicate with animals, but that doesn't make us on the same level.
Well, right. But what are you doing in New York City? I guess I don't know. You have to work. You need money.
You're doing, I mean, what are they doing in the Northwest? Listening to music and not sleeping.
Yeah.
That was something that I wish also was kind of expressed a little bit more. It's like Carlisle, he's a doctor. He's actively trying to like help humans. What are the other people doing? Just screwing around all day?
Well, the Collins are in high school.
Right, but I feel like they all should have been like doing their own. Maybe Emmett and Rosalie are like, we're really into recycling, and
Mm.
we clean up the beaches every night, or
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like they all should have like a purpose, kind of like
Yeah.
Carlisle.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, and then also the age thing. You and I are late 30-year-olds, so when we talk to someone who's like
Oh, God.
14, you respect them as a person, of course,
Yeah.
but you also look at them and you're like, you have no idea about many things. Just as I have no idea where you're at, but truly, you haven't seen nothing yet. So imagine being 300 and talking to someone who's 30. You wouldn't be able to relate to them. So I think, as far as being a New York vampire and socialization, I just don't think that would like factor into your thoughts.
Hmm.
You'd have to be doing vampire things and hanging with vampires.
Well, sure. Well, yeah, but where are you
Yeah.
living? How are you paying for things? That's what I was getting at. And then it
I'm
depends.
stealing.
It depends
I'm
on what.
stealing everything.
Oh, well then, and also it
I'm
depends
a
on what.
bad vampire. I'm going to tell you right now.
I,
I'm not Carlisle. Okay.
no, I know you're not Carlo.
I'm Dracula.
Oh, okay. Actually, imagine like a very, very grumpy, disheveled vampire. Maybe we could write this into the garlic vampire Mr. Molina story.
Right.
But he's just
Right.
like, "Ugh, I just like your blood now. Maybe like
Is that
not
your impersonation of me as a vampire?
no. But someone who's just like not your typical vampire, alluring.
Right.
I'm captivated by you.
Right.
You like trip when you enter a room, kind of. Not you, Seth. Not you.
I mean, you are coming up with all of this as soon as I said that I would be a vampire, so
You just
I'm
sparked an
having a hard
idea.
time not
Yeah.
applying this to me. Tripping, not alluring, disheveled, I believe was the adjective used.
Okay.
I mean, I wouldn't like suddenly be fashionable just because I'm a vampire.
Ooh, yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway.
I do think Edward wearing sunglasses is cool.
Yeah, he
That's like
looks
the one time in this
so
movie
good.
where he gets to actually like look cool
Oh
and
my
he's like
God. When
smiling.
he's wearing the sunglasses and puts his arm around Bella and they walk into school, I'm like, hot. I am there.
Right.
I love this.
Yeah. And that's more along the traditional, like
Yeah.
a cool vampire.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because he's able to, publicly be with her. I don't know.
Also, just like cool guy at school.
Yeah.
Hot guy.
Okay. Cam
James.
Gigante as James.
Doesn't Cam do such a good job as playing a villain?
I'll tell you this. I liked him so much more in this than as Volchek in the OC. Hey, if you're listening to this and you're not aware, we cover the television series The OC. We just recently finished season 3, and Cam is like the big villain in that season. He plays Volchek, and I had a lot of problems with Volchek. And so coming into this, I mean, when I watched it the first time, I had no idea who he was. And honestly, I feel like James is kind of a nothing character. This is my least favorite part of this movie.
Yeah.
I think you can remove almost all of this. I would prefer if Twilight was just a romance story. I don't think you need this other stuff.
You need to show how difficult it would be for a human to be with a vampire. regardless, like besides the fact that of the whole aging thing and how it is torturous to be stuck like that. But anyway, continue.
Yeah. But he does, he's very good at being creepy towards young girls. I'll say that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then ripping him apart and setting his arms on fire, or just his whole body, is like such a... When we talked about The Happening last week, we talked about how the movie is such an odd contrast because there's parts that are really silly and funny and goofy and weird, and then just like the most horrific, violent images that you've ever seen. That's kind of what this is like. Like, there's a fight, but there's not like a lot of blood, whatever. And then while Carlisle and Edward are like trying to figure out how to save Bella, you literally see the other Cullens in the back dancing around as they're ripping James apart and burning his body.
That's the way to get rid of him. That's the way to kill him.
It is insane.
Did you notice who pulled his head off?
Alice!
Yes. Because...
It's crazy.
Well, I'm going to share this, and you could take this out if you don't. But before Alice was turned, James was tracking her in like the 1900s.
Oh my God.
And so she's turned by a different groundskeeper who's working in she was put into a mental asylum. Her backstory is insane. And they don't do this in the movies. But I wanted to share this because it's exciting to me. And
Sure.
again, take this out. But and it's canon because Stephanie Meyer wrote it in an illustrated guide to Twilight. But she is put into a mental asylum. She's being tracked by James. And a groundskeeper who works at the asylum changes her before James could get to her. And so the fact that she's the one to take James's head off is huge. It's pretty cool. And this is like hundreds and hundreds of years prior. That's cool, right? But maybe not, because you don't see that in the movie.
So I wonder if Alice ever had any idea that would happen.
Well, right. I mean, right. I know. And that's where it gets... And and James says something to Bella along the lines of like, I wanted Alice's blood, or... Because
does he?
Does he not say that?
I don't think he does
now.
in the movie.
Okay. All right. Let me zip it because things are crossing now.
I'm not taking that part out.
No?
That's interesting. No.
Okay, because that was like very condensed and jumbled. And
yeah.
Anyway, I thought that was it is pretty cool to me. Anyway.
And then, I mean, James, I feel like it's very like silly bad guy until he is there with Bella and he's like, I'm going to videotape this.
Mm-hmm.
And then he like squeezes her leg and I'm assuming like breaks her leg.
Yep.
And he's like, tell Edward how much it hurts. And I'm like, my God, this is pretty wild.
Yeah.
For this, teen romance movie.
Well, involves vampires.
Yeah. Sure. So then we have the Kulat tribe, mainly Jacob and his dad.
Billy. Who's best friends with Charlie.
Taylor Lautner is Jacob, and I feel like he does a good job of playing like a young kid in this.
Yeah, I think so too, especially he hasn't seen Bella in a really long time. So when you're reunited with a childhood friend, your parents are best friends, it could be a little awkward, but I thought his, like I said earlier, his chemistry with Kristen was really good. And I thought this was a good introduction to Jacob.
Mm-hmm. I thought Jacob was in this more. And I was kind of like, where's Jacob? What's happening here? Mm-hmm. There's no werewolves. There's no nothing. What? Right. And I guess that's for another story.
Right. And we start to get the origin story of this tribe.
Can I tell you, apart from the lion and the lamb exchange, these costumes in this flashback are horrendous.
Not a fan, huh?
Are you a particular fan?
I mean, it's all part of the movie, right? So
it's bad. It is bad. This is where the budget ran out. They look like Newsies.
I know, they do look like Newsies.
But then the Coulette, they're wearing like cardboard wolf heads.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so bad. Yeah. It's really bad. I also didn't really get how this establishes some kind of like really long feud because it's not a feud. They come to an agreement.
They come to
Like
an
they literally
agreement.
agree. They say, "Okay, we won't do this here." And then they
Yeah,
don't.
but they still don't approve of the cold ones. Vampires, I mean, it's just different ideologies. And we think you're disgusting. Like your kind's disgusting. Yeah.
I guess so.
Everybody's kind's disgusting, but we do have a treaty. So,
Right. I guess it's just I was like it's not enough. Like
yeah.
you
Well,
need to show the Cullens like accidentally murdering like the daughter of someone important or just something. Just
well,
something beyond like we caught you killing a single deer 500 years ago and we're still mad about it.
well, no, the Cullens are fine. It's when we have these nomadic vampires who are
Well,
killing
sure.
on their land. And then that
Right.
brings up a whole discussion of, we made a treaty, and then the Cullens are like, well, hey, they're not part of our coven.
Right.
So it becomes a bigger problem.
Right. I looked into the Coulette.
Yeah.
I was mostly interested in like what they thought of the film. I read different statements from different either representatives of the tribe or from them themselves like over the years because now we've got like almost 20 years
Mm-hmm.
of this history and it basically sounds like they were like we weren't really asked to be involved, we haven't seen any money from our involvement, but it's brought a lot of tourism to our area and we're trying to do our best to manage this like new massive influx of interest
Mm-hmm.
in our area. So it wasn't like a flat out like this is bad and we hate it.
Right.
But it honestly sounded more like they were annoyed of like, okay, well now we have all these tourists coming and not being respectful and just being into Twilight, but they don't know anything about us.
Right.
And that's a tough one because it's like, okay, Stephanie Myers, she writes this book. She includes a very real place, a town, a group of people. What is the responsibility of an author to then give money to those people or town or area? And I don't know, like, I don't know the answer. I know that if I were her and I made all of these millions and millions and millions of dollars and I knew that that's how they felt, I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, here's some money.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know that everyone who writes a fictional story has to then compensate
Right.
everyone who's involved.
Yeah.
I just know what I would do.
Well, right. Right. Totally.
Yeah. Can we talk about the baseball scene?
Cue the thunder.
Can I say something inflammatory off the bat? This is the dumbest thing that I've ever seen.
But in the
life.
best way possible. This is iconic. And two
Oh,
things could be true. You could say this is the dumbest thing ever, but it is iconic. This
sure.
is, and every time it's thundering, I'm like, the Cullens are playing baseball right now.
Oh my God. See, when we were kids, people would say, the angels are bowling.
Yeah.
And now it's the
The Cull-
vampires are baseballing.
the Cullens are playing baseball.
Man, it's bad. It's so stupid. And what's crazy is that it's not just a throwaway scene. Like, this is how they actually attract the vampires and they find Bella.
Yeah.
Like, this is a pivotal scene to this movie.
It's a huge scene in this movie.
How do you feel? Like, you're okay with this?
I am so happy. Like, I feel it starting in my toes. Muse starts the thunders, and I am just like,
Muse.
yes! I love this scene so much. Is it silly? It's so silly. And yes, it's dumb. It's dumb. This is weird, but it is chef's kiss.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's so fun. It's fun.
And it's like they're wearing like kind of like old-timey baseball stuff too.
A lot of them were turned in like the 1900s. So 1600s, 1800s. So, I mean, they're not like new vampires, as we know. They've been around for hundreds of years. So if you keep that in mind as well, I love the scene, and I love the entrance of Victoria, James, and Laurent coming down using that effect, the magic carpet,
Right.
right? Every time I'm in an airport and I use the moving walkway, I'm like, I am in Twilight right now.
Oh my.
Every single time. And I know there's people out there who do the same.
All right.
Next time you're traveling soon, please take the moving walkway and just imagine you are entering the Collins baseball game.
Right. I'm coming through the fog.
It's so good.
It's not
so
good.
Yes, it is. It is good. Something is good.
It's
Accept it.
it's the worst part of this movie. And I don't and and like I said, this movie isn't boring. Like I'm not like sitting there like, oh my god, how long is this stuff? But it's just the dumbest thing and silliest and most ridiculous. And
But it is.
I don't think they even necessarily like pull it off really well.
They do. It's perfect. No notes.
I was teasing our series on Twilight.
Yeah.
So once a week for the last 4 weeks, I would tease just an item on a plain white background. And I tried to be a little mysterious with it. But the first thing that I posted was a baseball. And I was like, everyone is going to know what this is. Because like you said, it's so iconic. This is such an iconic.
Yeah, but if
you talk about baseball in movies, you were either talking about a baseball movie, and if not, it's the scene from Twilight.
That's true. And even though, like, yes. But if I were to go on Twitter and I just see a baseball, I'm not thinking of Twilight.
Oh, I am immediately.
I'm
this is
thinking
the
of,
thing I
like-
think of when I think of this movie, this baseball scene. I think that this is the scene from Twilight.
Oh, absolutely.
It's either like this is the skin of a killer. Like there's like lines, you know, like that. Just the whole tree sequence of like.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like it's either that or the baseball scene.
Yeah.
No one's referencing when Edward pulls into town and yells at all the guys.
Well,
about
that
to
when
attack Bella.
the like speeding Volvo, I also like. There's just very iconic scenes.
But I'm saying like a scene, like
yeah, it's definitely the baseball.
It's the baseball scene.
It's the baseball scene. Yeah,
it's horrible.
It's fantastic.
Anyway,
it's fantastic. We didn't talk about Charlie. I mean, we have all month to talk about our characters. So I liked the practical effect when Edward bit into James's neck and he spits his skin out. It's melted string cheese.
Before we move on, I just want to make note, composer of this film, Carter Burwell. There's a lot of people involved in this movie that have been involved in a lot of interesting things. Carter Burwell is interesting to me because he's the composer for all of the Coen brother films.
Ooh.
And also Martin McDonagh, who's made films like In Bruges and Banshees of Inisherin. And I was like, oh, that's very interesting. All right, so this movie was made for $37 million and goes on to make $407 million at the worldwide box office. Catherine Hardwicke described realizing that this was going to be a massive hit and being mobbed with Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson at I think it was the Venice Film Festival. And she was like, we were just there to show like a trailer and they had to like escape with their lives. This was huge, massive cultural moment. It's been parodied over and over again, made fun of, mocked, but also well loved.
Mm-hmm.
Having said that, this has a 48 on Rotten Tomatoes, 3 on Letterboxd. Metacritic has this at 5.6. This is not part of the Criterion Collection, nor the National Registry, but I would be shocked if this didn't enter the National Registry within our lifetime. And they shot from January 23rd to May 6th. Roger Ebert gave this 2.5 stars.
Oh.
And I think I say this almost every week that we review a film that he has reviewed, where I say, it's a good review. You should go read it. You have to read this review. There is stuff in this review that had me scratching my head, confused, laughing. But overall, he really seemed to like this movie.
All right, cool.
Yeah, really. Yeah, you guys should go read the review. All right, let's get into our happies and crappies.
It's time for happies and crappies. Happies and crappies. It's time for happies and crappies. Happies and crappies. It's time for happies.
My happy for this movie is, one, it's very enjoyable, but two, it's very cool seeing all of these actors before they would go on to be in bigger things. And then my crappy, which we didn't fully talk about, is the ending. This very much feels like the ending of a TV episode, not of a movie. We have that nice ending in the gazebo with the two of them, and I wish it just ended there. Instead, we cut to Victoria, and then we just cut to Gray, and it's very much like, oh, something else is coming. But it feels like a TV show. This isn't very cinematic, I'll say that.
Okay.
What about you?
My happy is the baseball scene.
Okay.
My crappy, probably Mike Newton. He's
Good.
just so annoying.
He's the devil.
Yeah, but I get his role in this movie because he's such a contrast towards against Edward. But yeah, not my fave. It's hard though because like that's such a superficial answer. Because like really crappy is I wish we could have had more backstory and exposition, but we don't. So I just, you know what I'm saying? Like
it feels like this was, and this sounds like a bad thing, and I think it is a bad thing in this case. This feels like it was made for the fans. Like I'm telling you, as someone who hasn't read the books,
yes,
they didn't make this for me.
Yes, I get it. I totally get it. I totally get it. Yeah.
We have some friends online what they thought. Arthur, Free Palestine watermelon emoji, at Arthur_Ant18 said, "It's been a while since I last saw this cultural touchstone. And you know what? I can appreciate the silliness and the hilarity it's brought to our lives, even when the romantic side of things gets too creepy. Plus, the baseball scene genuinely slaps."
Thank you, Arthur.
Home run. Britt Chavez, at
Hey,
Britt
Britt.
Chavez, she says, "Perfect weather for some hoa 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 hoas. This movie is pure comedy, and I watch it every fall for some giggles. Favorite line delivery is, 'You think you could outrun me?' Please tell me in the sun's out scene, you saw the kids in the back not hacky sacking anything." And I didn't notice it my first time through, but rewatching it after reading this tweet, yes.
Oh, nice.
When Jessica's on the table and she's like sunning herself.
Uh-huh.
She's like, "Oh, the Cullens are always going camping when it's sunny." But you know, that's not weird at all. There's like a group of like 6 or 7 people in the background just like pretending to hacky sack.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Joe, ghost emoji, at the_other_JB_,
Hi.
says, "Yes, I've been waiting for this. Dreaming of this. Best episode ever. I can already tell."
Yes.
Maybe the longest episode ever. Felicia,
Hi,
at
friend.
Cinemaroni, "Not even my love for Kristen Stewart could make me watch past the first installment."
Oh, no.
Sean Shank, at Tyler_Burnham,
Hello.
says, "What do you think about the argument that the vampires in Twilight aren't real vampires?"
I disregard it. Vampires aren't real.
It's exactly what I was going to say. Yes, you can say that there are like universal vampire things, but a lot of movies play it fast and loose, like we discussed at the beginning of this episode. I feel like the only thing that's like universal with vampires is that they drink blood.
Yeah, right.
Powers, weaknesses, I think all kind of fluctuate.
Mm-hmm.
Paul, at Scooch Slam,
Hi.
"They played this movie at my liberal arts college one night, and I was liberally altered on the green stuff.
Oh.
It was a monumentally life-changing moment. I'm still not sure if I'm Team Jacob or Team Edward, but I know I am wholly Team Hold On Spider Monkey.
Amazing.
Eliza,
Wow, people sounded off.
Canadian flag emoji, at April_Warmbold.
April, hi.
Yes, she just joined us for our episode on Happy Gilmore 2.
Yes.
She says, I saw all the Twilight movies in theaters. I like the books slightly better, but they still did a good job.
Yes.
So those are the people that we do know. Now we go to a segment of the show where we hear from people that we don't know. It's called Half Star, 3-Star, 5-Star. These are reviews from letterboxd.com, which is a website and app where you can log, rate, and review films. We start with a half-star review, which is the lowest rating that you can give a film. We go all the way up to a 5-star review, which is the highest rating that you can give a film. And on this show, I always read the half-star review in a silly voice or an accent. Michelle, do you have any requests?
I don't. That's why I think we should go over to our Wheel of Voices.
Wheel of Voices.
Do we have to, are we explaining what the Wheel of Voices is?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to spin a wheel, and whoever it lands
It's pretty
on.
explanatory.
Okay, Seth has to read the half-star review as this person. Ooh, Miss Piggy, can you please read our half-star review for Twilight?
Twilight? More like turn off the light. Get me out of this movie theater.
It makes me mad that you are so good at these. Like, I wish I had this power. Like, if I was a vampire, this is the power I would want.
Can you imagine? Carlisle turned me while the Looney Tunes were on in the background.
That's another funny idea to put into it.
All right, half-star review from Miss Piggy. Anna Kendrick being in these is so crazy. Like, you're minding your own business, watching Twilight, and out of nowhere, a real actress person randomly pops in to remind you this movie is an actual thing that's happening in real life and not one of those fever dreams you have before you die.
Thank you, Miss Piggy.
Thank you, Miss Piggy. You're welcome. Next time, bring me on for a good one.
Miss Piggy is the perfect choice to read a half-star review.
Yeah, she's not happy about it.
No, she's not.
3-star review says, I've probably watched this movie 30 times now for various watch-alongs, and I get something new from it every time. Like last night, I realized... I don't know why I pulled this one, but... Like last night, I realized there's an extra behind Edward in the Cafe who looks exactly like John Mulaney. It's like you think they're going to be like, oh, I realize this new depth to this relationship. And it's like, I don't think this counts, by the way, as like every time I watch this movie, I realize something new.
I think this is great because this is what I would notice. This is exactly the type of thing I would notice. Yeah.
I mean, hey, back then, maybe John Mulaney was bumming around and wanted to be an extra.
Wow.
Do we know that it's not him?
I mean, I feel like we would know by now. Maybe John Mulaney has read that.
How does John Mulaney talk? It's not like, yeah, but it's kind of like that. So I was in Twilight. You know, the movie with the vampires.
Okay, that's like... That's someone else doing John Mulaney. I'm not sure, but that. Yes, that is the right like cadence. That
Right.
is yes, yes.
So I said, I'll be in your movie.
Yeah, that's good, Seth.
Yeah. Okay. 5-star review says, okay. 5-star review says, cinema was only invented the day Alice threw her leg up in the air while Supermassive Black Hole played.
I mean, how beautiful is that? Just give Alice that in the baseball scene. I know you said stupid, but her physicality in that scene is so good.
It's incredible. Wow. All right, so we rate a movie as a schmovie, a movie, or a film. We rate it 1 through 5 stars and give our final thoughts and recommendations. Michelle, you want to go first?
Okay, well, remember when you said I've summed up my thoughts all in one sentence, and I said
Yeah.
I only have one big question for you?
Sure.
All right, give your go ahead, give it, and then I'll explain.
Okay. All right. So for you, I wrote down a 4-star movie.
All right.
Okay.
I am very conflicted.
Okay.
Is this a film or is this a schmovie?
Well, I can't answer that because that would give away my rating.
Oh, all right. Well, I'm going to give you what I guessed for you, and we're going to come back to me
Okay,
because
sure.
I've been struggling with this, and I need this is an open forum now on what I
Okay.
can come. Okay, so for you, I wrote down 3-star movie.
Oh my God, you're so close. It's sick. This is a 3-star movie.
Yeah, and remember at the beginning of the show, I said I don't know what to write for movie, schmovie, film.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
So close.
so
This is a 3-star movie. I think that this is an enjoyable film that's a little too long. I think that it's harmless fun. I think that there's parts in it that are romantic. I think that this is really bad acting at some parts. But what I have been, as we have been describing what a schmovie is, one of the things that I said to you was it has to be odd. And Twilight, to me, fits that bill.
So
There are
that
parts of this that just feel like a normal teenage movie, but then there's such odd stuff in it. You can't put Hold On Tight Spider Monkey in a movie and expect me to be like, this is normal. You know what I mean?
Well, absolutely. And so,
So
like, last month, I felt like so off. I could not guess what you thought a schmovie. That's
yeah,
why I was so conflicted. I'm like, what is Seth's logic again? He's probably,
right.
I feel like this is a schmovie for him, but he's probably going to put movies. So that's why I put down 3-star movie.
Yeah.
To me, my star rating is 3. I was just conflicted
Oh,
of, is this a
okay.
schmovie or a film?
Right.
And so to me on our wheel and scale Venn diagram, this is between like schmovie film. It's not a movie for me. This is not a
Got it.
movie.
Okay.
So we're kind of both right
Yeah.
and not at the same time.
Right.
Great.
I do think that you should watch this if you haven't. I hope you didn't listen to this if you haven't watched this, but if someone said to me, I've never seen Twilight, I would say you should definitely watch Twilight. I don't know about every other one.
See, I would say watch Twilight if you want to do the whole series. Like if you're going to make a fun marathon for yourself, yeah. But if you just want to watch Twilight as a standalone, no.
Okay.
For
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
I just think like it's to me, it's the same thing as saying like, oh, I've never seen Iron Man. I've never seen Star Wars. I've never seen. Here on the show, we like to talk about the whole of film history, and there's certain movies that were important. And
That's true. Yeah.
we talked about when we talked about The Matrix, I said The Matrix changed movies for the next 10 years after it. Everything was The Matrix. Twilight had that impact. It might not have impacted the movies that you saw, but it did. It was important. All right, does Twilight pass the Seth shell test? The Seth shell test is our spin on the Bechdel test. We require that a movie contains something tangible that is impressive, whether that's choreography, production design, or practical effect, and it must have a runtime that is justified by its content. You're going to hate me for this, I think. This is like a no on both for me.
Come on. Even the
I
practical
know the
effects? Come
practical
on.
kicking up the apple with the
Hey, an
string,
homage to the book cover? Come on. We didn't have to
and
do that.
also I think an homage to the first Spider-Man movie
Oh,
when Peter
sure.
Parker, Tobey Maguire
Yes,
catches all the
yes.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's a yes on either of these things, it is like squeaking in.
Squeak it in.
I'll squeak it in on the practical side, but the runtime, you gotta cut a little something.
Yeah, right. I agree with you on the runtime. And maybe if things were just distributed differently,
Mm-hmm.
if we took some things out and put some things in, and then the runtime would be fine.
Mm-hmm.
Because the runtime is 2 hours and change, but you're like, wait,
Yeah.
do I know all the history? We could have known more here.
Right. Whenever we get to this part of the show, I'm always like, what would I cut? And you know what I'm cutting? You know who I don't care about at all? Waylon. Get that guy out of here. I just do not care.
Waylon, come on, that was...
Oh, Charlie's friend. Get him out of here.
It hits close to home, these killings. That's the problem. Now we know someone who has been killed by James and Co.
And you're crying for Waylon.
No, I'm not wailing for Waylon. I'm just saying, like, it's a device to show that things are getting serious.
Hey, if you're getting serious about listening to Movie Friends, we'd love it if you give us a rating and a review wherever you are listening. If you're listening on Spotify, you can leave us a comment right on the episode. Michelle, what emojis should they leave us?
Leave us the monkey.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Hey, if you're bad at communicating like Edward and Bella, and you're like, I've wanted to leave them comments, I've wanted to leave them a review, but you don't know what, just leave us an emoji. It just, it helps fuel us along. It's kind of like eating tofu. It makes you strong, but it doesn't make you fully satisfied. I don't know what I'm talking about.
I know where you're going with that.
Yeah, just leave us some emojis. Gosh dang it.
Emojis.
You can also send us an email, moviefriendspodcast@gmail.com. Please let us know what you thought about Twilight. Any thoughts or predictions for our upcoming episodes? Hey, if you've seen all these movies, it'd be a fun game. Send us what you think each of us are going to rate these movies.
That would be fun because you know what's coming.
Right.
There's no guessing here. And in time, there will be the discussion. This isn't even a spoiler. Team Jacob, Team Edward, let's hear your case.
Right.
It's coming.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming.
That's the one thing I know about this.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You can also support the show, patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. Look, folks, it's $5, okay? That's how much, one can of soda costs nowadays. So do yourself a favor this month. When you go to reach into that cooler and you pick out that can of grape soda, put it back, do your body a favor, go up to the counter, say, may I have a cup of water, please? Drink that instead. Take that money and support us on Patreon. Hey, when you sign up, you get access to our Patreon-only Discord. You get to vote on upcoming movies and themes. You get access to all of our additional episodes. And, as we've been saying, we're in the process of making a movie, and you're literally paying for it. So support the arts.
Support the arts.
We'll try to make something as entertaining as Twilight.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's a good way to put it.
All right. Next week's episode. No surprises here, folks. We're going to be talking about the Twilight Saga, New Moon, from 2009, directed by Chris Weitz. This is 131 minutes, a little bit longer. And this is the only other movie that I've seen from this series.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Excited.
I am also excited because I don't remember a lot about this movie. I think Jacob is on vacation or something. I think this is one where Bella's depressed because Jacob is on vacation, and we get that great scene where the camera goes around her room and the seasons change.
Okay, I'm not gonna.
Right?
I'm not.
Okay.
You're going in blind, buddy. I'm not.
Okay, all right. Well, hey, thanks, Michelle.
Thank you, Seth.
Thank you very much for listening wherever you are, and remember, folks, I hate you for making me want you so much. Till next time, thanks for listening. Have a good one.
Movie Friends is produced by Seth Vargas and Michelle Rubenstein. Theme music by Jean Marie Vargas. Visit us at our website, moviefriendspodcast.com, and please subscribe and rate our show wherever you are listening. You can support Movie Friends at patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. Thanks for listening.